Hello everyone, this is Kapil Gambhir and today I'm here to explain you about railway overhead electrification, also known as OHE. The main purpose of this video is to let people aware about the electrification system used in railway, also its major components and why it is used and what is their function. As most of people does not know how electrification work in railway, so my intention is to let have some idea about that, and so that people can, if you want to study more in detail, you can drop me a message so we can cover those topics in detail in the my future videos. So let's start the basic knowledge of overhead electrification, starting with the why we are starting with the purpose of electrification in railway. As most of you know, before electrification, railway used steam engine and diesel engine. Diesel engine are still in use most of the places where electrification is under progress. Why railway moved from diesel or steam to electrification of whole railway system? There are many reasons, but I have uh, just mentioned three only. Uh, First one is the contact line permit almost unlimited power at disposal of electrical driven people, which means when a railway train is moving using an electric loco, it does not have a limitation of fuel because electrical supply is given at various substation on their route, so it need not to carry any source of fuel along with the vehicle. And second, it allow railway to run the trains at the highest speed because there is a limitation in diesel and steam engine. The speed can be attained up to 80 to 100 kilometer per hour, but in electrified area the train speed can reach up to 180 kilometer per hour. And also electrification is very economical as it has the highest efficiency among all three. And one more advantage it has, it is very good for environment as it cause very less pollution as compared to other modes of power. And it as compared to diesel, it cause one third pollution if you see the data from the railway. Now we'll discuss the major component of railway OHE. First, I would like to show you the general drawing of a cantilever assembly. This is a general arrangement of a electrified cantilever assembly, which you must have seen during your travel or standing on the station. The vertical part is called mast, also known as traction mast. It's written, and it has many components. We will discuss almost every component in this video, and I will brief you the purpose why it is so. And the main component here which always stay connected with the moving loco is contact wire, shown here. If you observe my cursor movement, this will help you for understanding this contact wire. uh, and then there are other components which support this contact wire, uh, which are shown here: part of cantilever, stay tube, bracket tube. All these components have equal energization which it has in the contact wire because it's all are electrically conductive. So if you touch any of the part of this cantilever, it has equal current during operation. So to avoid this charge to be transferred to this structure, which is traction mast here, insulators are provided at both location, both point of contact location. The upper part is connected with stay tube is called stay arm insulator, and bottom part connected with bracket tube is called bracket insulator. This all insulators and components we will discuss in detail. Before that, I just want to list out the component list which are used in OHE. These are the major components. There are many, more than 30 components, but I have mentioned only 12, which are practically visible in every location. The first component is catenary wire. If you see in this image, this top wire is called catenary wire and bottom is called contact wire. Contact wire always connected with the pantograph of a loco, and this catenary wire is to support this contact wire. In bracket, here it is mentioned it's a cross section area of both wire, which is 107 square mm, and it's 65 square mm for catenary wire. The other components are foundation. The foundation is made up of concrete which support the mast. Then we have mast, which is either rolled or fabricated steel. Then we have bracket assembly. The drawing I have shown is for single bracket assembly. There is a single cantilever assembly. If it is more than one cantilever assembly on a single mast, it is called either double or multi bracket assembly depending upon the number of brackets. It can goes up to 4 bracket. Then we have stay arm, bracket, composite insulator, post insulator. These are types of insulator I have mentioned here. There are total 5 types of insulator we will discuss in detail. And then jumpers. Jumpers are wires which are used for maintaining the continuity of current in different section of overhead electrification. Then we have section insulator. This is section insulator assembly is used in location where we have to isolate one section of electrified section from the other electrified section. This we also discuss in detail. Then we have single pole, double pole isolator. These are usually placed nearby section insulator to isolate one of the section to the other. Then we have anchor and guy road assembly. This is part of supporting the structure. This will see an auto tensioning device. This is also known as ATD or regulating equipment also. The main purpose of this device is to maintain the tension in this catenary and contact wire. I'm using so many terms, catenary, contact. I think you are new to this, so I just show you the major component list first. So then we'll go in details. This picture is one of my project site, and it has almost every component in it, and I mentioned here in detail. This is the vertical mast. At the bottom of mast there is a foundation which is not in the picture. Then this GI mast. On the mast there is a number plate which identify the mast number. Then out with connecting with the mast there is a mast bracket fitting assembly, and on the other end of this fitting assembly we have insulators at the top and bottom. Top is stay tube, so it is a stay insulator. Bottom is a bracket tube, it is a bracket insulator. And where these two tubes are connecting each other there is a catenary suspension bracket, and below that this catenary wire is connected to this bracket clamp. Now at the bottom there is a resistor arm which is connected with the bracket tube with the help of resistor arm hook, and then we have anti-wind clamp to avoid movement of this BFB steady arm due to air. And at the bottom of this steady arm we have contact wire which is connecting with the contact wire swivel clamp. So the main component which always stay connected with the moving train is this contact wire at the bottom, and all other are fixed part which support this contact wire. And above contactor wire, there is a catenary wire which support this contact wire with the help of dropper wires and various fittings. So stay here for 20 seconds so you can just have a look at the various components. If you have some doubt, you can drop me a message which I will try to explain in the next videos or in the message itself. So before moving to next point, I'm just waiting for 10 seconds, then we'll move to the different components detail. Let's go. This component I already told. Now we will discuss in detail one by one all the components. Catenary and contact wire, the first two items of our list. If you see, these are the first two items. Okay. These are the wires which you have usually see above your train if you are traveling through train. These are always maintained in a tension, and catenary wire, the purpose of catenary wire is to support contact wire, because all the connection with the loco is only with the contact wire. The purpose of catenary is to support it. I have one image which will more clarify it. This, if you see, this red one is a contact wire which stay connected with the pantograph, and blue one is here it is written messenger wire. You can call it catenary wire. And if you observe, there is a dotted line marked here. This shows the center line of a track, which is equal to center line of a pantograph. If you enlarge this to readable form, this, the center line or track axis or panto axis is same, but this zigzag line is shown as a contact wire axis. This usually installed in a zigzag manner, and this point is the mast point where it is fixed. So why this zigzag is provided? Actually, this zigzag is called stagger. We call it staggering of contact wire. The purpose of staggering is to avoid a single point contact with the panto, which may cause erosion of pantograph if it stay connected at a single point. To avoid this, this wire usually kept in zigzag fashion, and the staggering length is around 200 mm from center of the track, and goes up to 300 mm on a curved track. This is for straight track. If there is a curve, it can goes up to 300 mm. We'll keep it same. Now I just explain you this catenary wire. The cross-sectional area is 65 square mm, which consists of 19 wires, 19 strands, and in a single wire. And cross-sectional area of total wire is 65 square mm, and die is approximate 10.5 mm. Same for contact wire. This cross-sectional area is 107 square mm. It is a non-uniform circle, so die is approximate 12.2 mm, and its shape is like this. The bottom part is always connected with the pantograph. The top part is connected with the catenary wire with the help of droppers. We'll see in this image, if you can see here. Here it is dropper wire which connects catenary with the contact wire. This is practically piece of contact and catenary wire. This wire has been opened. Actually, it was scrap piece, so I have taken a photo. This all wires of all the strands of wire is open now, and this is a single piece copper conductor which is called contact wire. Now we'll move to next topic. Next is our foundation and traction mast. OHE foundation. In OHE, the foundation is used for mast which are supporting the overhead equipments. So for each mast, the type of foundation is decided based upon many factors, which can be the type of uh, overhead equipment. It's a single bracket, double bracket, and then there is a soil capacity. Based upon the soil test, it is decided which type of foundation to be used. There are so many types listed here. We will not discuss foundation in this video. If required, we'll make a separate video for that, and we'll move to mast. Mast is the main vertical post which supports all the overhead equipments. It can be rolled section or fabricated. There are so many types of mast, and it's shown here. This B series mast normally used in railway, B150, B170, 5 200, depending upon the width of the mast. And there are fabricated steel mast also there, RSJ type, rolled steel joints, BFB type, broad flange beams. These all are used in railway. And one main thing is which is common for all the mast. All the OHE masts are of 9.5 meter long. All mast carrying cantilever assembly are of this length, which are buried in the foundation. Now we can move to next component, insulators. The purpose of insulator is is same which is for in other electrical areas. It is to restrict the continuity. So it is used where there is a chances of current transfer from overhead equipment to the fixed structure. So in first two you have already seen in the cantilever bracket, stay arm insulator and bracket insulator. And third one is 9-ton insulator. 9-ton insulator we used where any section is closing or any wire, this contact and catenary wire is terminating somewhere. So we use this insulator before terminating it to the fixed structure to avoid flow of current from overhead electrification system to the structure. So this we will see in next. We will see that this type of insulator in the next slide. And then we have support insulator, post insulator, which is used in the isolator we are using in different sections. Then there is a section insulator. This is part of a section assembly which is used to isolate one section to the other. This we'll see in detail in the coming slides. Now we move to, these are all 5 types of insulator. If you see, this is section insulator, bracket insulator, 9-ton insulator, stay arm insulator, post insulator. The size is standardized as per RDSO. Normally insulators are porcelain insulator used in railway. Somewhere it is found it's a new type of rubber insulator also there, but mostly it's a porcelain insulators. Now next component is jumper. Actually a jumper is a conductor or arrangement of conductor for electrical continuity, not under tension. This are used in OHE to maintain the continuity. If there is a isolators, There we are using it to maintain the continuity through the isolator. And there are so many types of jumpers used in OHE depending upon the purpose. There are in-span jumpers which are used for maintaining the continuity on a running catenary and contact wire at an interval of 400 meter. There are continuity jumper. This depending upon the purpose, there are different names. If you see, these are the jumper wires section shown here. This we are not going in detail here. So I'm moving to next component, section insulator. Now this is a very important device used in railway where multiple sections are there and you have to isolate one section from the other section. So we have to install section insulators. This help to maintain different section without disturbing the movement of trains. So how they are doing it? You can see this drawing. This is a side view of section insulator. This bottom is contact wire and top is catenary wire. Catenary wire is isolated through 9-ton insulator, and this contact wire we can't insert an insulator on the wire because pantograph is moving. So this device is used where this insulator is at high point and this copper material is used as a contact wire for this section. Then it is connecting with the contact wire at both end. When there is a isolation, we want to isolate this section, right side section from this. Then there is a jumper arrangement which is passing through isolator switch. We we open that switch, so the current transfer from this end to this end will stop and this section will become isolated. So this I can't explain here. If you have doubt, you can ask me in comment section. I will try to send some message or video. So this is also the top and side view of insulator. This is a dropper assembly which I told you before. The contact wire is supported with the catenary wire with the help of droppers. This at the both end there is a clip used for catenary and contact wire. The shape of contact wire is to accommodate this clip from top, and in between there is a dropper wire. This particular shape is given to allow the movement of catenary wire during operation. The catenary wire always remain horizontal with respect to railway track, but this catenary wire will go up and down to maintain this horizontalness of this contact wire. This is normal isolator which is used in electrical system also. This mainly we use single pole isolator near the this device, section insulator. So at the one end of this isolator we connect this side and the other side we connect this side. So when this isolator is closed, now it is in closed position. So when it is closed, the current will flow from both sides, from this to this side. But when this isolator is open, so current flow will stop and one of the section can be isolated from the other. The function of isolator is to make and break electrical continuity of an elementary section where loading and unloading of material are involved. Double pole isolator with earthing hill are being used. It is written with reference to a loading unloading point of a siding where usually the electrical engine comes for material unloading. Then after engine departs, this section will be de-energized with the help of isolator. There we use double pole isolator. In this we have used single pole. This is the pole. Moving rod is called known as pole. If there is double tube, that is known as double pole isolator. Before moving to next item, uh, okay, first we complete all the items, then we'll go for the major terms used in OHE. So we'll go to bond. A bond is an electrical connection across joint between adjacent rail. If you observe while moving on a track, all the fish plane joints are joined with the help of a strip. That is called bond in electrical. This is called continuity bond, cross bond, impedance bond, and structure bond. Structure bond are uh, earthing strip used to connect rail with the mast. This is the electrical connection between mast and track. And all other bonds are used on the rail to rail connection depending upon the track circuiting and all. So this this is just like a earthing strip. So this is a simple component. Now our next component is auto tensioning device. You must have seen such type of device uh, alongside of track, but it is usually found in the outskirt of a station or in the siding. Normally it is seen like this, where this counterweight is hanging. So this is called auto tensioning device. The purpose of this device to maintain the tension in contact and catenary wire. Normally in OHE we maintain 1000 kg force in both catenary and contact wire. Based upon that, the we it is used here 3:1 pulley. This is the counterweight against so much load. We require around 665 kg of counterweight to maintain a tension of 1000 kg each in contact and catenary wire. Why this is used? You may be asking why the need of this. Actually, the purpose of this is to maintain the tension during varying temperature. If there is a high temperature in a field, their contact and catenary wire tends to expand, and when it expands, their tension may reduce. So to maintain this counterweight is used, and it goes down and maintain the required tension. But whenever at the night or in the winter season, this temperature reduce, it contracts, then it will lift, it will be lifted up to maintain the same tension at all varying temperature. If you see, wait, it is mentioned normally in India it's a normal temperature 40 degrees Celsius. At night if temperature will drop, this counterweight will move up as the wire contracts, and as the wire expands this counterweight will move down towards the. This marking is done based upon the ambient temperature and its position. Uh, this process is known as ATD cutting, call it ATD cutting. Now we move to the some of the basic terms which we use in OHE, which are not very common. What is encumbrance? It is the axial distance between the catenary and contact wire. If you see the our drawing, this is the contact wire and this is catenary wire. This axial distance is called encumbrance. And will I think there's a limitation on video length, so we try to complete this session in the next video, in the part 2. And for now I'm stopping this video, and you wait for my next video. We'll continue from this point for explaining the various terms used in OHG. The basic component we have covered. So hope you like it and you stay connected, and we will post a new video very soon. Happy learning.